I built over 500 customers, including the United States government. And I did it by following these three simple rules. These are three must-haves that you must do in order to make sure that you not only get customers, but keep customers. My name is Eddie Felton, and not only do I run a business, but I also teach people how to be a better version of themselves through fixing their mind, fixing their body, and then fixing their finances. Yes, I did run a few ads and I spent money on ads, but honestly, that didn't always land it for me. Now, yes, ads will get you seen, it will get you followers, but ads don't always guarantee the sale. Some of my customers have been with me for over a decade now. And one of the things that I did to not only get those customers, but keep that customer is I gave people exactly what they wanted. I think a big problem that a lot of business owners and people in sales want to try to do is sell the customer what they want to sell them and not actually listen to what the customer wants. If I'm doing a consultation with a customer, I'm asking questions. And the main question that I'm asking them is, what exactly are you looking for and how do you think my company can help you? I can determine right then what programs and what services that I have to offer that can fit them. We want to make a sale, we want to make money, but you have to understand that everybody is not your customer, regardless of how much they're spending. After I gave the customer what they asked for, then I would follow up months on down the line and make it known that I'm open to feedback. And sometimes I would even run different surveys and ask them, what menu items do you like the most? Is there anything we can improve on? And anytime a customer calls me with feedback, I thank them and I let them know that I'm really appreciative of that, because feedback is what keeps your company going. Part of listening to your customers is understanding what the market actually wants and actually needs at the time. Today, we have trends and we have different things that people are following every single day. And the market always changes. It always adjusts. People wants, people needs, they change all the time. So you have to understand, what do I offer that is valuable to the market today? At one time, some of my programs were working, but as time went on, I understood that those same programs did not work anymore. And whenever there's demand, you have to make it happen. No, you can't adjust to every single thing that customers are wanting, but over time, you will know exactly what you need to change based on how your customers are responding. When I first started out, people were like, do you have a website? Do you have a website? Do you have a website? And I'm like, I'm trying to get this website going. But at the time, building a website and building it out, depending on your business, it can be tedious. But what I realized is they were actually doing me a favor, because once I got my website and I got it up and running, it helped me, because not only did it help automate a lot of things that the customer needed, I didn't have to constantly email back and forth about what they wanted or what they may have needed. The website handled that. I was able to put a chat bot on my website. So a lot of the, FAQs and things like that, they were able to get those answers online without me having to physically answer them. And also I was able to get sales while I was sleeping. I'm waking up to sales, and I'm waking up to people buying my programs and my packages. And, there's nothing like making money while you're asleep. So when customers are giving you feedback, that is help. Even if it's negative, it's still helping you. Remember that. Never, ever, ever take feedback or constructive criticism the wrong way. Because the bottom line is, if you're not listening to your customers, you're really just guessing. And guessing does not make you more money. It does not get you more clients. The second thing that I did was I treated everybody like a paying customer. The main thing that I've noticed with a lot of businesses is, especially small businesses, when you treat people like they're only a dollar sign, people can feel that. You're on the phone, you're supposed to be answering questions, you're rushing people. If they're not saying they want to buy fast enough, you're trying to get them off the phone. Some businesses are like that. Some businesses are, quantity over quality. But one thing that I have learned over the years is whether a customer is buying right at that moment or not, I treat them like they're spending money with me already, because I've had some customers that call me and had questions at the time, and our interaction was great and I thought they were going to make the sale, but then they didn't. They ended up not making the sale. And I didn't treat them any different. I didn't, spam their email, spam their text messages, spam their voicemail. I didn't do that. I just provided the information they asked, and we went our separate ways. And then 6 months later, 3 months later, or a week later, they came back and they did business with me. And a lot of times those people will spend more than what you even thought they may spend just because of your initial interaction. So remember, don't write people off because they're not spending money right then and there. You don't know who God may have sent your way. You don't know if you're talking to an investor. You don't know if you're talking to somebody that just made you a big enough sale to pay all your bills for the month or the next 2 months. So at the end of the day, be very mindful about who you're talking to, and don't be in such a hurry to make the sale that you run potential future customers off, because a sale is not about just today. I get it. Sale, for small businesses, a lot of sales can be day by day by day. Whenever people contact me, I try to reach back out and respond as quick as I can. You don't know how many catering jobs and other jobs that I've done just because a person said that I responded back quickly. I don't understand why businesses feel like, oh, I don't want to respond back quick. I don't want to look like I'm desperate. Listen, the early bird gets the worm. I don't care if as soon as I see the notification, I'm reaching back out. You sitting back trying to look cool, trying to make it look like you don't need business, knowing that you do. It might be one of the reasons why you don't have any business or you don't have as much as you want. It's not about how you look. It's about what you can provide. If you can provide great customer service, you can provide a great service, then guess what? You have a customer that will sometimes remain with you for extended periods of time or even maybe for life. People don't just buy products. They buy how you make them feel. I don't care how much I want your service or your product. If I feel slighted or I feel like you're not respecting me in any way, I'm not spending no money with you. You can have 15,000 star rating on Google. I don't care. People may not remember your name. They might not remember your face. They will remember how you made them feel. Remember that. People always remember how people make them feel. When you're interacting with customers, be respectful, be polite. Sometimes these customers be on 10, but that doesn't mean you have to match their energy. If somebody calls you and somebody says, hey, look, this isn't right or that isn't right, hear them out first before you just jump and defend your product. Hear them out and see what they have to say, because sometimes it really could be a mistake. I've had customers call me and say, hey, a couple of my meals were missing 1 or 2 items. And I'm like, what? No, I know, they should be in there. And then they send me pictures and I'm like, oh, shoot, you know what? It happens, right? So you got to understand, it doesn't matter how detail oriented you are, how meticulous you are. We all can make mistakes. So always be respectful, always be polite. Some situations,
I don't care about the contract. You don't do what you...
If they nuck, you got a buck. And then number 3, I was always focused on improving. I always wanted to improve. I always wanted to make things easier. Any issues that I kept hearing over and over from customers as far as my website, as far as my ordering process, I always made sure those problems got fixed correctly and got fixed quickly. These days, people's attention spans they're quick. And before you know it, they have went and done business up the street that in a matter of seconds. In a matter of seconds, they left and went up the street and did business. So whenever people reach out to you with problems, with solutions, I'm telling you, get on them and fix them quickly. I made ordering easier. On my website, I wanted to make it so ordering was simple, it was quick, it was a click, it was a page here, boom, you check out, you schedule delivery. I didn't want, it to be as difficult, having to order here and pay here and schedule delivery here. I wanted everything to be in one place. And my first website, people couldn't even pay online. They could order, they could schedule, but they couldn't pay. So then that became an issue. Then I had a website where people could pay, but they still had to schedule delivery outside of the website. That was a mess. That was an issue. So just understanding where your pain points are, right? And then start taking care of them. And I improved my delivery. Delivery has always been a big thing. It's hard to keep up with delivery when you service a wide area and you have so many customers. And I mean, even hiring third party services, like Uber and stuff like that to help out with deliveries, it still can be a hassle. But one thing about it is I have outsourced a lot of my delivery to be able to, number one, meet the demand, and number two, to be on time. Because that's very important. Being on time is a part of customer service. And there's a lot of mistakes that people make as well. The first thing is trying to go viral and not be valuable. And I understand in today's world, everybody wants to be viral. Everybody wants to, get a whole bunch of followers and get monetized and make a bunch of money. But you have to put out valuable content. We've seen so many creators that have done things to go viral, and you may not even see them after about a month or two after going viral. So you have to understand that value stays forever, and those videos continue to circulate, and a valuable video is going to continue to get views over and over and over. I've posted videos from 3 months ago that are still going right now because I gave value inside the video. But at the end of the day, views are important, but building trust with people is even better. Especially if you think about after COVID, look how many influencers have came out with programs and different things, and then we found out they were scammers and all type of stuff. So I feel like these days being authentic and providing real information is the best thing you can do for yourself and for the people that you say you're trying to help. The second biggest mistake is ignoring people after you made the sale. There's nothing that screams scam like not being able to get up with people after you've given them your money. Listen, I make myself available during business hours. Before someone makes a sale, during the sale, I can assist them, and after they make a sale with whatever questions they have. These days, like I said, people have gotten scammed, people panic. So the worst thing you could do is ignore somebody after they have given you their money. And not only does it raise a red flag, but it also makes let people know that you really aren't concerned about their well-being, and all you're really concerned about with is making money. And the third biggest mistake is not listening to your customers when they are providing feedback. I feel like that's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of companies make, even your big corporations. Sometimes you see them and you're like, who asked for that? Who voted for that? And some of them could just be doing it just for marketing or whatever. I really don't know, but listening to your customers is very, very important. It's happened to, think about back when Coca-Cola, and it happened to Pepsi. They both changed the recipe at one time. And I want to say Doritos might have did it too, but I'm not 100% sure about Doritos. But Coke and Pepsi both tried new recipes and tried to change their recipe after years and years of having people fall in love with their recipe. and they were forced to change it back. And I'm sure it was good for them that they did, because they still continue to be the biggest distributors for beverages. Because I'm gonna tell you something, if you don't listen to them, oh, best believe somebody else will. Trust me, there's somebody else down the street right now that's hungry. They got bills just like you, and they will listen. I promise you. If you're building something right now, focus on these 3 things and watch what happens. And if you want more content on building your mind, your body, and your finances, follow me, like it, share this video, and send it to someone that might need it.